And welcome to the Unboxed Podcast. I'm your host, Rice D, aka Uncle Rice. Now, I appreciate every single one of y'all rocking with me. I hope everybody is enjoying their day so far. Happy hump day to all. I'm definitely enjoying mine. As you come in, make sure you tap that like button and drop your city in the comments so I can show a little love from my city to your city. And welcome in to all of my people. I hope everybody's enjoying their day so far. Like I said, when you come in, make sure you drop that city in the comments. Want to know where y'all watching from. As you can see in the background, I'm rocking from Chi-Town. I hope all of you all are having a blessed and safe day. If you could hear me clearly, drop a 1 in the chat. And if I sound like I'm a little bit underwater, drop a 2. And welcome in, Miss Whitmore, coming from Canada. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of our neighbors up north. I definitely do. Drop your city in the comments. Make sure you come in, you tap that like button. We got another great show for you tonight, as usual. You know, we definitely don't disappoint. I want to see them cities in the comments first, and then we'll get on our topic. I'll let the music play a little bit. All right, Miss Roseanne says she can hear me clearly. That sounds like we ready to roll then. Larbert Scotland in the building. What's up to my man Donald? I always appreciate you coming in. Always coming in. Knoxville, Tennessee in the building. My man Philip Smith, my fault. I appreciate you, bro. I see Zaytos Her Logic. All right. Welcome in. If I butcher your name a little bit, hey, charge it to my head, not to my heart. I'm definitely not trying to do it like that. But I definitely appreciate everybody coming in. And if you've been here before, you know we always kick it off with the Rice's Rules tip of the day. And if you're not familiar, I always try to give you a good safety tip to make sure that you're safe when you're out and about. So we're going to get into the tip of the day. Y'all keep on dropping y'all cities in the comments. And as you come in, make sure you hit that like button. Don't cost you nothing. But if you do want to support the channel, you can always do so by simply subscribing to the channel, or you can go to the YouTube channel called Unboxed and you can subscribe over there, or even better, go to Amazon Books and get our new 2 books, the Playbook Volume 1 and Volume 2. We definitely appreciate everybody that's already purchased their copy. Hey, shout out to you, Chelsea. We appreciate that. Everybody that purchases their copy, just know it's just helping the channel grow and go. So we definitely appreciate you. And like I said, we're going to get to the Rice's Rules. Tip of the day. Let's go. So it's a lady that's out walking, out and about, and this guy pulls up in his car. As she's walking, he runs right up on her, and before she knows it, he comes up, he takes her wallet out of her purse, and he sprints back off. Now, it's a quick video, so I'm gonna let it play again, so that way you're able to see it. But this is a good example of how sometimes you're out late and you want to go walking and you want to go do something, kind of clear your head. You got to make sure that you first and foremost keep your safety protection tool with you, and also an emergency alert device. You want to make sure that if you're out and about and you're walking and you're doing your thing, you don't want to have to worry about this happening to you, because you got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Because once it happens, it's way too late for you to start preparing. I want to make sure that every single day I bring you a tip of the day, so that way I can make sure that you keep your head on the swivel. And whether you think you need the tip of the day or not, that's fine. But your mom might, your daughter might, your sister might, your husband might, somebody may like to go running. Everybody in here, drop a 1 in the chat if you know somebody that either likes to go and take walks or that likes to go running. Because if you know somebody that loves to be outdoors and they're outdoors after dark, they need tips like this just to remind them. It's not that they don't know how to stay safe. but it is that sometimes we get so much other stuff on our mind that the last thing that we're thinking about is somebody running up on us while we walking through the park. I got elderly parents, so I like to make sure I put the tips out so nobody can say that somebody didn't try to tell them. It's really that simple. But I like to kick off with the tip of the day, and we're gonna move right on because I got something that I wanted to start a new segment called Random Thoughts. And I got a random thought. Let's go. You wake up and suddenly it's 2050. What is the first thing that you are going to Google? And I want you to drop your answer in the chat. What is the first thing that you would Google if you woke up and it was 2050? So damn, you went to sleep and you missed 25 years. You wake up and you the same age that you are now, but now it's 2050. What would be the first thing that you would Google if you woke up and it was suddenly 25 years from now? Shit, I think the first thing I Google is I probably try to see who won the fight coming up next week. Or I'd see who won the Super Bowl this year. It'll probably be something random. I don't think I'd be Googling something that'll be like super important, anything like that. But I'm curious, what would you Google if you woke up and it was 25 years down the line? That's just a random thought that came across my mind, and we ain't gonna sit on it too long. Let's see what we got in the chat here. If I'm planning to go back to 2025, I'm Googling lotto numbers. Okay, that's actually a good answer. You're gonna go to that very day. Now, my question is, how you gonna get back to 2025? I didn't say they built time machines, but then again, in 25 years, they may have them. I don't know, but that's actually a good answer. I don't think I would have thought of that one. I don't know if I Googled the lottery, but maybe that's a good idea. Maybe I Google who won the Super Bowl and then I'd be able to go back. Just a thought. All right, so that was my random thought, but we're gonna get on to one other thought that I had. And welcome in from Louisville, Kentucky, my man Mark Porter. I appreciate you, brother. The next thought that I had was about a movie. It's about a movie. It's a movie that a lot of us, depending on how old you are, you've probably seen it. What's up to my man Philip Smith from Knoxville, Tennessee? I appreciate you, bro. It's a movie that I think a lot of us seen, and I got a question about it that I want to know your opinion on. Y'all remember that movie right there? If you remember that movie right there, before we do anything, I want you to drop it in the comments. What is the name of the movie right there that you see in this scene? If you've seen this movie, drop a 1 in the chat. And if you've seen this movie and you know the name of it, drop a 1 in the chat and the name of this movie. What is the name of this movie? And I got a question that's coming behind this. All right, let's see. First one, always the first one, trying to be the best student in the room. Okay, we got 2 of them. So everybody says Misery. Roseanne said Misery. Chelsea said Misery. So the movie Misery. Good movie too. Academy Award nominated, everything else, right? So my question is, just a random thought. The movie Misery was nominated for Academy Awards. If the roles of the main characters were reversed, would it have received the same amount of critical acclaim? Would it have been received as much? So if Kathy Bates was the person in the chair, and what is that actor's name that was in that movie, right there? The man, the dude that played the male role in the movie, what was his name? Drop it in the chat. But if the roles had been reversed and it was the lady in the chair and the man keeping her there at the house like Kathy Bates was in Misery, would that movie have been as popular? Would it have been as wildly accepted as it was? I'm curious because I put a post up about this before, but I want to know what y'all think. Let's see what we got here. And he's been hobbled, is what Donald said. Yeah, he in pretty bad shape right there. You seen what she did to him. So my question is though, would the movie have been as widely accepted? Would it have been popular like it was? Would people been, oh man, that's a good movie right there? Did you see when he was? It would have been a little bit different in my opinion. But I want to know what you think. I think that people probably wouldn't have accepted it the same. Chelsea said probably not. I think it hit so hard because the roles were reversed, and probably because it was a lady that had him in that position. So that's probably why it was accepted more. Okay, I could dig it. But that's James Caan, exactly, Philip. That's his name, James Caan. I was trying to figure out what the brother's name was. But my thing is, why is that? Why is it that him being in that miserable situation, why was that like Academy Award worthy? But if Kathy Bates was in the chair, I don't think nobody would have watched it. Matter of fact, they might have been protesting, talking about, man, why y'all got Kathy Bates in that chair like that? You know that James Caan and Kathy Bates. And Philip said, no, it wouldn't. Philip, I really don't think it would have been a hit. I don't think it would have got nominated for much of anything. And it's just odd because, you know, just like, for instance, when you watch What's Love Got to Do With It, everybody remember, you can forget a lot of scenes, but you ain't gonna forget the scene when Ike and Tina was in the limousine and Tina finally turned up on Ike. I don't think nobody gonna forget that scene when they came walking out that limousine. Y'all remember their clothes was all ruffled. I should have had the picture up here. I ain't even think I was gonna use it. My man Laird said, hell no. It would have been Slater. James Caan played Paul Sheldon. Now, my thing is this. In my opinion, I think it was just mainly because you seen the wholesome little lady, and I think he was a writer, wasn't he, or something like that? I think he might have been a writer, but you got the wholesome little lady that they didn't expect was gonna strike back on them. Wow. Roseanne say no, because no one cares about big chicks is what I say. I'll say it that way. I don't want to use the word because I don't know how the algorithm act. They'll act like I actually said it or something. But nonetheless, though, that was my random thoughts for the day. We're going to get into the first video of the day. And it's a situation that I ran across. And the situation is called, You Gonna Leave Me Here? The situation is called, You Gonna Leave Me Here? Let's go.
So I'm sitting at the bar with my date, and another man sits to the right of me. Okay, and he say, "Hi, hey, how you doing?" I said, "I'm good." He said, "I never seen you here before." I said, "Well, him and I," this is me telling him I'm here with somebody, "him and I come here all the time. This is my favorite place to get my favorite salad." He's like, "Oh yeah, what's your favorite salad?" I'm like, "Oh," he's continuing this conversation. And so the guy that I came to the bar with was like, he gonna say, "I'm going to the car to smoke." And I looked at him, I gave him the look like, "You gonna leave me here at the bar while this man who thinks I'm obviously single, cause you not saying anything, you gonna leave me here with him? Okay, you gonna get what you get from that." He goes to smoke. This man keeps chopping it up with me. By the time he come back, he like, "I'm ready to pay the bill." I said, "I'm not finished eating." Said, "I'm ready to get the fuck out of here because you trifling."
So he's upset at her because she sat at the bar and this man continued the conversation, even though he went outside. So the question is, how did this couple handle this situation wrong? How did this couple handle this situation wrong? I'm gonna play it one more time for you And for the people that didn't get a chance to hear it, listen again to the situation that happened at the bar with this young lady and a guy that she's seeing, and then we go unbox it.
So I'm sitting at the bar with my date, and another man sits to the right of me. Okay, and he say, "Hi, hey, how you doing?" I said, "I'm good." He said, "I never seen you here before." I said, "Well, him and I," this is me telling him I'm here with somebody, "him and I come here all the time. This is my favorite place to get my favorite salad." He's like, "Oh yeah, what's your favorite salad?" I'm like, "Oh," he's continuing this conversation. And so the guy that I came to the bar with was like, he gonna say, "I'm going to the car to smoke." And I looked at him, I gave him the look like, "You gonna leave me here at the bar while this man who thinks I'm obviously single, because you not saying anything, you gonna leave me here with him? Okay, you gonna get what you get from that." He goes to smoke. This man keeps chopping it up with me. By the time he come back, he like, "I'm ready to pay the bill." I said, "I'm not finished eating." Said, "I'm ready to get the fuck out of here because you trifling."
Now, I see we already got a comment. And my man Philip said she should have cut it off from the jump. Okay? And he a sucker for not checking both of them. All right. Now, I agree with Philip in this standpoint. One, if I'm sitting with my lady or even the lady that I've been consistently coming to this restaurant or bar with, if we sitting together, I ain't about to let no brother just come pull up on her and just start talking to her like I'm not sitting there, especially when she made it clear to the man that, "Hey, I'm here with somebody." Now, Chelsea said she was doing too much talking. He was pulling her card, leaving her there. They both played stupid games and won stupid prizes. And you know what? Chelsea, Miss Pop said the same thing, basically. She said basically the same thing. Now, Philip said if she was really good for Buddy, she would have left with him. Now, see, you're stealing out my playbook right now because, Philip, this is what I was going to say. One, dude she was with is obviously not a gladiator type. The guy, and you have to recognize the animals in your zoo. You have to know whether or not you moving around with a lion, a hyena, or a Maine Coon cat. You might have a big tabby cat. He might not be built like that for confrontation. And it seems to me that maybe she was expecting him to be that guy in that moment. Let me read this comment. Donald said he was already upset because he heard enough in the way she never set him straight that he was her man and not just a friend. It's a lie by omission. Now, Donald, you make a good point. If that was her man indeed, then she should have said more than, "Yeah, me and him, we come here all the time." But on the flip side of it though, I think it goes deeper into who you choose. Because the fact of the matter is, the dude she was with, he wasn't built like that. I don't think he's either one, he don't care for her as much as she think he cares for her, or two, he's not a confrontational guy and he didn't want no smoke. So when he said, "Let's go outside," he was really saying, "Hey baby, let's move away from this situation so I don't have to tussle with dude, because I'm not the tussling type." Chelsea said right, because he could have paid and they both could have left. He walked out to smoke instead. She could have cut the convo, but she was testing him too. And as I said before, in many situations, we choose the type of person because of what they look like, and then we expect them to be what we want them to be. And the fact of the matter is, dude wasn't built like that. He wasn't cut from that cloth where he gon', "Hey baby, hold on a minute. Hey bro, you see me sitting right here, right?" Because he didn't want whatever came behind him claiming that territory. And if a man isn't territorial about you, and maybe I'm just too old school and traditional, but if he ain't territorial about you, he probably don't really like you like that. If a man isn't territorial about you, he probably don't like you like that. Drop a 1 in the chat if you agree with that, and drop a 2 in the chat if you disagree with that. But I'm gonna need you to stand on why you disagree with it. So drop a 1 in the chat if you agree with what I just said. If a man is not territorial about you, that man probably is not rocking with you like you think he is. That man, I'm not saying he got to crash out and turn into Conan, but I am saying that in that moment, while you sitting right there, this man got the nerve to sit right by the woman that you're feeding, that you're eating with, that you come here with all the time. He sat down like dude wasn't even there. He sat down like she was sitting by the invisible man. He sat down like Emmanuel Lewis was sitting on that stool next to her. Because any man that sees a woman sitting close with a man and they vibing and he still got the guts to sit down, he had already sized you up. That man already sized that other man up, and he already knew, because no man just wanders over there and start talking without him knowing what time of day it is. Now, we could pretend like that, but I know better, and you should know better. Donald said, even a great fighter knows that it's best to avoid a fight than win, lose, or draw. You never know what the other man is packing. And with her disrespect, is she really worth risking your life? Okay, and respectfully, I respect what you say there, Donald. Chelsea said, 1-1-1-1-1. I agree. Even little boys get territorial. It's in a man's nature. And Donald, I didn't say that he had to crash out about it, but what I am saying that in that situation, that man sat right down like he wasn't there. Then it starts going back to the caveman days. Am I gonna let this man just grab her by her hand and walk out the restaurant with him? At that point, am I going to let that man stay in her ear long enough, leave her there? Now, if the situation is that bad, you gonna get up and leave her there and then come back? Let me tell you young men something. If the situation's so rough for you and you don't want to handle it, that you got to go out to your car, show her taillights and tailpipes. Call her from your car on the expressway, bro. Because what are you coming back in there for? You come back in there to beef with her. He came back in there and called her trifling instead of just leaving. You could have saved that. That means you're in your feelings. That was an emotional response by him, not a logical response. That wasn't a logical. What he got to explain to her? He said that because he still want to be with her. He said that because he's still planning on going home with her. He said that because he want to chastise her, but then he want her to make up with him later. Because he want to make it seem like she messed up, because he actually don't either like her enough to step up or too damn scared to step up. And I get it. You don't put yourself in peril. But at the same time, though, if you there with her and she said they always come there, bro, you with her but you won't defend her? What we got going on here? Chelsea said, because it's all about respect. That woman disrespected him. That other man disrespected him. He left them. That's where the anger came in. But Chelsea, was his anger directed in the wrong direction? What good did it do him coming back in there, popping off on the lady? You ain't said a damn word to do. You clammed up. He sat down there, got the whispering all in your lady ear. Yeah, I ain't never seen you here before. Loud enough so your ass could hear him, but you ain't said nothing. If you're gonna get up and go to your car, bro, show her tail lights and tailpipes. Why are you coming back in there? You looking for an explanation. You still want a happy ending to the night. You playing games. He was angry at himself and took it out on her. We see that a whole lot. We see that a whole lot. And this ain't me jumping down the guy's back, but this is just me keeping it real, bro. It's an easier way and a better way to handle that situation logically. My man Philip said most women to cuss your ass will cut you short first couple words out your mouth. Facts. So she was testing him. So ain't neither one of them sure about the other one. Because if somebody tests you, they're testing you to see if you cut right for them. So if you still in the testing phase, I don't know. I'm just not the type of guy that you gonna sit down beside my lady and get to whispering sweet nothings in her ear while I'm sitting there. We sitting here eating salads and shit, and here bro comes sitting down like he's supposed to be sitting there. She didn't invite you, I didn't invite you. So why the hell are you here? Logic over emotion. Facts. You're absolutely right, Philip. Logic over emotions. And I logically can't accept you disrespecting my little 3-foot bubble. I'm sitting right by my lady, bro. Because unless you walk over here tapping one of them canes and got them big black glasses on like Ray Charles, it's not even so much you disrespecting her, because she got to figure out if she getting disrespected or not. And I can always figure out if I want to see her again. But what I'm not going to do is sit there and not say anything to you while you sit down and cross your legs and throw your head back laughing, you whispering all and you patting on her thigh. Come on, man. Like Chelsea said, it's all about respect. If she respected him in the slightest, she would have shown the other man the other side of the hand because listening can't see, I'm taking. And you know what? This is the thing. Yeah. You can see that she's taken. I respect that. She knows what the real situation is between her and that man. She didn't introduce that man she was with like her man. So dude got confirmation that ain't his woman when she didn't tell that other man to get out his face. He went to the cop because he was steaming mad, and then he came back in still mad. Why did he waste that extra 5 minutes to be mad at that woman when he could have gotten his car and left? That's logic. And if you go, did the woman really make him mad, or did the man who sat down there whispering sweet nothings make him mad? Because, hey, bro, you know what position you hold with her, too. Or what? Was this the first time it ever happened, so it surprised you? Your woman introduced you as her friend. Oh, me and him, we come here all the time. Who the hell is him? Who is him? You can't say, me and my man. You can't say, yeah, this is my guy right here. Hey, respectfully, you're going to have to move. So I get why the brother got mad, but I don't get why he thought he had to come back in and chastise the same woman that just showed him that wasn't his man. My man Philip said estrogen levels too high. Chelsea say right, because logic says she ain't for you. She proved it. That other man helped make the point. So really what you pissed off for? She might have done your ass a favor. Now, we got stuck on this one. So we're gonna move on to the next topic, y'all. And I appreciate y'all rocking with me on this one. This next topic is from our popular meme section. I see them always on my timeline, so I say, you know what, this is something good to discuss. So let's discuss this one. It says, you got to make 6 figures, pay the bills, and treat the kids like yours. He said, but don't none of their daddies even do that. It says she wants a stepdad with millionaire energy and baby daddy patience. Fellas, would you stay or leave? And I'm gonna do this one like this because I let them have their little questions on their thing. But what I got from this is a lady that has high expectations. Now, whether or not those high expectations are realistic or not, I can't really say, because that lady could make $100,000 a year and have 4 kids. That lady could be have a doctorate degree and have 4 kids. That lady could be living in a 5-bedroom house with a well-maintained lawn and make $150,000 a year. So I say that because the stigma that every woman that's got kids is looking for a handout, I don't believe. But my question is, if you have children, should your dating expectations of your partner change? If you have children, should the expectations that you have going into dating change? Should you be looking for something different than you were before you had children? That's the first caveat to this. Should you be looking for something different? Should looks still be as important to you? I'm not telling you that you got to date Quasimodo. I'm just asking, should looks, does your list of priorities change? You might keep the same things that you want in your basket, but does the importance of those things change? Drop a 1 in the chat if they do. Drop a 2 in the chat if it's a no. Because I know that question was, would you stay or run? But I'm going to tell you the truth. It's too many women with kids that's got boyfriends for me to believe the shit about don't nobody want to date women with kids. To be honest with you, a lot of dudes don't even seem to mind dating women who change their entire appearance because they put makeup on. So I doubt that they're going to care if a person has a child that they're already taking care of before you got there. See, it's a preference. You ain't got to date people with kids. You ain't got to date people without kids. It's really a preference. But the question is, after you have kids, should your dating expectations change? And if so, let me know how you feel like they should. Because I'm definitely curious. Do you think that dating expectations should change? Let's see what Chelsea said. Yes, your expectations have to change because now you have a new top priority, raising those kids, right? You got to have a realistic list, but the list has got to change. I agree with that 150%. And I agree that you still got to have some of what you want. I don't think that you got to have Nathan Bookman off of Good Times. I don't think you just got to choose all Bookmans. But at the same time, if you ain't going to get Idris Elba, I don't think that you should be crying on your pillow at night. Some folks think that the looks that they have afford them that person. But I believe that we all should look at our situations along with our looks and combine them. Because there's a lot of people out here that all they look at is what they look like. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see what that says right there. Now, how the list changes is the questions. Can't just make crazy demands, but you got to be more selective. And I think that's a key word right there, Chelsea, selective. Because I don't think people understand the importance of being selective. You see all of these crazy shows that come on YouTube. Shout out to my people watching right now on YouTube. You see all of the shows that come on YouTube where the lady just got this guy and he had a record longer than the longest street in your neighborhood, and all of this bad shit end up happening. And at the end of the day, they always fluff it and make it sound like, oh yeah, she was aspiring to do, but we never really talk about the fact, why the hell was she with him anyway? You got a big group of people that say you should have stayed with your baby daddy, but we know a lot of baby daddies didn't want to stay with their baby mama, so that's not possible. Drop a 1 in the chat if you agree with that. And there was a lot of baby mamas that didn't want to stay with their baby daddy. A lot of couples mutually didn't want to be with each other no more because a lot of them got together for the wrong reason. I think if we're gonna speak about it, we're gonna unbox it and we're gonna talk about it in a wider light than the small pin light that most people try to cast on it. I like when I see these memes on my timeline because I think that they make great conversation pieces to really get to the meat and potatoes of why a lot of guys and a lot of women can't seem to get along. Now, my man Donnie say, yes, your expectations need to change because so far your expectations haven't served you right. That you have so many children with different men. Stop picking the wrong kind of men. Now, let's be honest here, Donald. Every woman that's got more than one child don't have multiple baby daddies. Some of them was with the same dude, had 3 kids by him, and now they broke up. So that's another stigma, and I'm glad that you put that on there. Because the truth is, that's the impression that so many guys get if they see a woman with 2 or 3 kids. And hell, if she got 3 kids and two of them got, or better yet, she got 2 baby daddies, you can say that made her decision making bad. You could say that, but on the flip side of that, can't we say the same thing for the men that made the kids? I mean, I think everybody's expectations should change once you have kids. I don't think if you're a guy and you got kids, whether you got 1 baby mama you broke up with or you got 5 of them, I don't think that you should still date like you don't have kids just because they don't live with you. And a lot of brothers that be out here preaching that, oh, she got all these kids by all these. I get what you're saying, bro. But you got 3 baby mamas, bro. How can you be in with the guys that don't have no kids talking about I won't, I'm not, and she got, when you damn near got the same thing or more? The only difference is she know how many kids she got, and a lot of brothers don't know how many they got. Drop a 1 in the chat if you agree with that. There's a whole lot of brothers that don't have a definitive number on how many kids they got. You heard that from Uncle Rice. I know that's right. Chelsea said right. You and Donald both made a point because even if it's just 1, she got to take accountability. I appreciate that and try to improve her discernment. That doesn't place all the blame on her though, but she's got to own her fair share of it. It takes 2. And Chelsea, I appreciate that to the fullest because you know what? You 1,000% right on that. Ladies need to take accountability for the fact that you did have children with somebody that you probably didn't vet good enough. Ladies do need to take accountability on the fact that you knew dude wasn't shit from Jump Street, but he was so good looking to you, or you was competing with that other woman that he was dealing with so hard that you competed your way into a baby. We got to take accountability for whatever it is we do. Roseanne dropped a 1 in the chat. My man Philip dropped a 1 in the chat. And Donald said, I'm talking from life experience, and the majority of women I know, including family members, personally, I only have 1. And Donald, hey, look, bro, you preaching to the choir. I got a lot of ladies in my family that's got plenty of kids, and plenty of them don't have somebody that they're with on all sides of the family. But can we really sit down and say that those women that are in our families that we know are bad women or aren't women who would make a man a good wife? I can't say that. I know a couple I might think that about and I can say that about. But if I looked at the majority of the ladies that get into that situation, most of the time it's because her and whatever guy got into that situation. Let's keep it a buck. We're going to move on to the next one. This one is interesting right here. And I appreciate everybody with all their comments. Philip said indeed. And that's probably to the question about, or the statement I made about a lot of brothers don't know how many damn kids they got. See, the women know because they push them out. But it's a lot of brothers that ain't got no damn clue until their funeral, and then it's 5 other families. There's 5 families in there like old school New York. All right, we're going to go to the next topic. I appreciate everybody rocking with me. If you came in and didn't tap that like button, go back to the door, tap that like button for me right fast. We're going to keep on rolling. Next video coming up. It's an interesting age gap video. Interesting video. I want y'all to hear it. Then we go unbox it.
So I have how old is he? I think he's like 39. He's about to be 40. In my inbox, just really pressuring me to go out. And he's a super cute guy, and he seems to have his stuff together, but he's almost 40, and I'm going to be 50 in October, and I am not into that. Like, I just am not into that. I don't have a problem dating a guy 10 years older than me, but as a woman, I don't want to date somebody younger than me. And I don't know. That just doesn't feel right to me for some reason. Always in my head, and maybe it's because I am Gen X and I was raised differently, but in my head, I always have, think that the man should be kind of like the leader and kind of older and more in charge. And because Lord knows I don't need to be in charge.
It's 10 years too big of an age gap once you reach the age of 50. Is 10 years younger too big of an age gap? And I think this may be a little different from a woman's perspective. Is that 10 years different than the 10 years a man would see? Because there's 50-year-old men that would date a 40-year-old woman. But her being traditional, she made it feel like to me that 10-year gap just don't feel natural to her. And I know when some of my older folks check this out, I want to hear their perspective on it. Because I wouldn't see anything wrong with the 50-year-old lady dating the 40-year-old man. I wouldn't see nothing wrong with that. I mean, hell, if that's what she like. But I do understand slightly why she may be saying that. Because in that age period with a woman, there are changes that she goes through. If he's 40, he's still ready to hit the sheets and get it cracking all the time. I don't know about how y'all are at 40, but I know how I felt at 40. And hell, I didn't feel much different than I did at 30. But when a woman starts going through the change of life, that may cause for a shaky situation when it all boils down to it. Let's see what comments we got here. Just alone as it's 5 years older than my daughter. Okay. 5 years older than your daughter, and you fine with that. Oh, all right, bro. Hey, however you do is however you do, bro. But my thing is, I think a lot of guys don't understand when your lady get to that 50-ish range, you gotta really be sharp. You gotta really be in love with her. You gotta really be ready for any changes that may come with your lady. That's why just playing around in your 30s and 40s and all that, that's cool. But when y'all land on the magic planet of 50 and that lady land on 50 or circulate around in that area, some things might slow down for you, bro. She may not feel like doing what she used to do when she was 40. And how are you going to deal with that? How are you going to deal with that? Are you going to make her feel bad about it? How are you going to deal with that? Let's see what Chelsea say. I think the older you get, the smaller the gap gets. But I wonder if she judges other women her age who date younger. It's about preference is it about preference or bias? That's a really, really good and inquisitive question. And my opinion again, I think with her, and just the way she presented it, it could be about preference. Because as I said before, most 40-year-old men, they ready to get it going. Them doors closed, they get a little bit late or early in the morning, they ready to go. But a lot of times when ladies, when they start going through the change of life, that's not really what she gonna be trying to do. Let's see. Hold on a second. My man Donald said, no, I've dated older and younger, but I have a cutoff going younger because, like Philip, need to be older than my daughter. Maybe more than 5 years, though. Philip says, trade her in. Philip, if you love her, you ain't going to just trade her in, bro. I mean, we ain't talking about a Chevy. We ain't talking about a Ford. We ain't talking about a Dodge. We supposed to be talking about your old lady. So if you love her, you ain't just trading her in. Because there's going to be things that's going to go on. And trust and believe, just like you ain't going to stay rock solid forever, she ain't going to stay rock solid forever. But I get what you're saying, though. If you really don't rock with her, that probably is the best time to trade in that vehicle for a newer model. But some folks will say you're wasting the time. See, Philip, you're going to have me on here talking crazy, man. But as I said before, though, I don't think that the 10-year gap is that big. Okay, so let me ask the guys. Donald already said it. Philip, would you date a woman 10 years older than you? Chelsea, same question. Would you date 10 years older, 10 years younger? I want to see what y'all think. Miss Roseanne, would you date 10 years older, 10 years younger? Anybody in the chat right now, what would be your cutoff? Philip said, ladies do it all the time to us. She might as well train her in. Might as well. I don't know, Philip. I don't know. If you love her, you ain't gonna trade her in, bro. But if she was part-time, you know, she was one of them ones that wasn't, you know, she wasn't never really solid with you. She ain't like to cook, you know, food. You always had to go to the restaurant. She ain't never want to do none of them things like that. Then I can't say what you should do. But I can say that, yeah, you know. But now we're going to move on to our next topic. And then I'm going to let y'all get out of here in a second. This one right here. Let me move this out the way. Bam. Serious question. Do men really care about what a lady looks like underneath the makeup and beauty enhancements? Do men really care about what a woman really looks like underneath the makeup and enhancements? And just so I could catch that last comment, Chelsea said I would date 10 years older, but not younger. But I think for a lot of women her age, younger dudes are probably stepping to her more than older. She too old for the older ones that's still looking. Makes sense. If she could handle me, mind, body, and soul. Now, okay, we on to the next question. Do men even care about what the ladies look like underneath the makeup and the hair nowadays? Or is it about what she can present? Is it more about how she looks after she puts all this stuff on? Or is it about what she really looks like once it all comes off? See, ladies, I could ask you all an equivalent question, but y'all really don't care what no man look like under his beard. And unless he wearing one of them Steve Harvey man units, you really don't. We really can't talk about the guys in the hair. Yeah, hey, shout out to Steve, but we know that sponge that we know right now that thing probably in the corner somewhere. They care to an extent. Let's see what Chelsea said on here. The men care to an extent. If she can clean it up, they'll let a lot slide. Damn. Is that true? Women wear makeup because they really don't love who they see in the mirror, without it. But do men really care about any of that? Do they really care about any of that, Philip? Let's be honest here. Because it seemed like to me, as long as she can make it look good, they are good to go. Donald say, well, if you seen my ex, then you would know that I don't care much about looks. It's more about what's inside. But I got her wrong after 2 decades. Okay. My thing is, at the end of the day, looks going to fade. And then it is going to be about the character. But if you still in the age of having kids and things like that, then I think all of that's important, because you're not going to have kids with the person that you see with all of the stuff on. You're going to have kids with whoever lives underneath the shell. So, and even if it's not about having kids, I just feel like there's a certain amount of confidence that comes with being able to rock your natural look at least a few days out the week. You got some people that won't come outside without a fully beat face. You got some people that will not come outside without having everything prim and proper. You got folks that will not come outside, be waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning putting makeup on so the man can't see what she looked like without it. You got people that do that. My man Philip say, I personally don't care for makeup. You know what, Philip, I'm not a makeup fan simply because back when I was coming up, if she wore makeup, you was going to be wearing makeup because it was going to be all over your clothes. Back then, if she wore foundation, you got to wear dark shirts. You got to make sure everything you wearing is the same complexion as she buy at the beauty. If she went to Sally's, you need to take a sample of what she there, go into the store and match your clothes to that. It might be different. It might not come off like that, but eventually you got to take it off. And then that's the person that you're going to be with. You can't go from looking like the lead singer to the security guard and not think that a person going to react. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's got to be some type of natural synergy, some type of energy, and some type of attraction to what's up under all of the frills and thrills, because the frills and thrills is nice. But it would be nice to know what your son or daughter would possibly look like for real. Because, see, they're not going to come out contoured. They're going to come out natural. With a natural. I know, right? What you say, Sally's. You remember Sally Beauty Supply? Y'all remember Sally's. Before y'all was running the Ulta and all them other places like that. Y'all remember Sally's. Yeah, but Sally's didn't have a whole lot of stuff on there for the sisters. I'm just saying. Sally's, yeah. Y'all remember Sally's. Sally's didn't have a whole lot of stuff in there for y'all. Y'all had to go to Bayhi's. Y'all had to go down there to Abdul's to make sure that y'all got the products y'all needed. Y'all know it's true. Just say I agree. I don't even like to wear makeup. First time meeting a guy for that reason. What you see is what you get. And at the end of the day, how can somebody complain about a person being who they are? How can somebody complain about a person being who they are? Everybody want their girlfriend to walk outside and look like they on a video. How's that real? Your life is not a video. You ain't making the money that person you're listening to is making, and neither is your lady. Why do you expect her to walk outside like y'all going to the Soul Train Awards? You're not going to collect the Emmy. We going to get a crab boil. So why are you dressed like that? I mean, it's bad. They'll come up to the school to get their kids dressed like they're getting ready to go on Soul Train. I'm telling my age now, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, we're going to go to the next one now. And I promise y'all, unless I go on another tangent, I'm going to let y'all get back to y'all day. What we got here? Well, my daughter's luck, she took her looks and figure from my side of the family. After all, I carry the blueprints. Hey, I feel you, bro. I feel you to the fullest. And yes, Soul Train. Hey, you got kids in school, and a whole lot of people do that's going to watch this. Y'all can't tell me that some of these parents don't be coming up to the school dressed like they going to the club. Why are you wearing all heels? You ain't working in no office. Why you got that on? Let me go to the next one. Bow. Last one. And I think this is something that guys should really think about. It's called the waiting game. You've heard of ladies say that they have a 90-day rule. The waiting game goes both ways, folks. If she make you wait 90 days for the honey, you make her wait 90 days for the money. It's really just that simple. Don't let somebody place rules on you that you don't want placed on you. I get it, y'all. Y'all say that money does not conflate to physical intimacy, but let's look at the dating scene as it is right now. You got people dating strictly because they're giving them money. You got ladies referring to guys as tricks. You got all of these things going on like that. And I think the safest way to do it and to be able to vet a person, if she want to put you on the P probation, then I think that you should make sure that you are not over investing. It's only fair. If it's only fair, drop a 1 in the chat if you agree with that. Drop a 2 in the chat if you disagree, and he should be spending that money even though he gets no honey. Rest in power, Don Cornelius. Exactly. Even swap. Ain't no swindle. Facts. I'm just saying. Chelsea say, I support this message. Everybody should be playing their cards right. Because to be honest with you, can't nobody be crying, talking about it. Yeah, we had a good time for 9 days. I thought he was the love of my life. And then all of a sudden, I didn't hear from him anymore. Or you got the guy, man, I spent all this money on her. I done took her on 12 dates, bro. She ain't, man, bro, I ain't even kissed her yet. Follow Uncle Rice's rules. If you ain't ready, ladies, to be intimate with that man in no way, shape, or form, stop expecting that man to spend his money on you, because I'm not saying every man thinks this way, and I'm not saying every man should think this way. But while you're vetting a person, you cannot be expecting a person to do anything extra for you. Baby, if you're going to go out on a date, have your money just like Granny and them used to say. You got $1 and a dime, honey. $1 for your meal and a dime for you to call a cab. We'll pay for him when he get here. It's really that simple. Have your own money in your pocket. And guys, quit playing from the pocket thinking that that's going to be the quickest road to the honey pot. You got to cut that out. That's why y'all be calling women gold diggers. They ain't gold diggers, bro. You just thought because you took her to that expensive ass restaurant that you was going to get the crack like a glow stick, and it didn't happen. Now you mad. Now you posting videos up talking about all they want is your money, man. That's all they want. These women ain't really interested in no man. They interested in a free meal. No, your ass took her to that expensive meal. You couldn't halfway afford it. And now you're mad because didn't nothing come from it. Just calling it like it is. Philip say the world's oldest profession is still thriving. Gal still slinging catfishing 25. Brother, you couldn't have said it no better than that. You couldn't have said it no better than that. Slanging catfish. I don't think I've heard that one before, but I bet you I'm going to put it in my repertoire. You're right. Suckers lead with money. Because the truth of the matter is, if she like you, how do a dude with no bread always keep a woman? I put a post up and I seen all the guys, not all of them, some of them kind of protested it. The real ones, though, they understood. I say y'all call them Pookie and Ray Ray, but he got the women that y'all be fantasizing about on his line every single day. It's not about your money. I know that the guru, y'all, the so-called godfather that everybody still listening to for some reason, told y'all that you got to have your money, get in this top 10% so you could get the honey. The truth of the matter is, your money ain't going to change your face, your personality. All it's going to do is magnify it. I see a lot of dudes that don't go to the gym with beautiful women. I see a lot of men who don't make a lot of money with beautiful women. It's not because those beautiful women don't, oh yeah, you know what, he just slick talked her. It's not that most of the time. It's the confidence that the man carry. Stop leading with your wallet, bruh. Because sometimes when you lead with your wallet, you put your wallet through the door first, they snatch your damn wallet and lock the door on you. That's what happens. And that's why a lot of guys get mad. If I can't tell y'all nothing, I'm going to tell you the truth. Now, whether you want to hear it or not, and whether it goes against your favorite YouTuber's message or anything like that, that ain't my business. But what I am going to tell you is from the perspective of a man that's been lived in a successful relationship, seen ups and downs, and still going strong with everything I got going, that, hey, look, make your money, find your woman in motion. If she got you waiting 90 days for the honey, make her wait 90 days for the money. It's really that simple. And as my man Philip said, I'm going to let him take us out on this. A cold mouthpiece outweighs money. Cold mouthpiece has always outweighed a heavy pocket. Because the dudes with the heavy pocket pay for it and fatten up the fish for the fry. Because she gonna come home with that to-go plate. What you doing, Ray Ray? Oh, I was out. You ain't doing nothing? I'll be over there in 10 minutes. Yeah, I got some food too. Because that's who she struggled with. That's who she come up with. A woman to stay with you forever if y'all lock in when you don't have everything. I just seen Tyreek Hill get took for mad money with a lady he was married to shorter than John stayed in the army. And he giving up all types of bread. Why? Because he played from his pocket. Last comment of the day. They fall in love with your hand and not your heart. And it's a flaw and a mistake on both sides. Hey, I hope y'all enjoyed the show today. I think I'm about to eat me some food. I want to thank everybody for rocking with me today. Chelsea, my man Philip, Donald as usual. Hey, I appreciate everybody that came in with us today, Miss Roseanne, and everybody else that's watching and that will watch it. Make sure that you take your time out to cop the playbook because we definitely got it out. Volume 1 and 2. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. YouTube channel is going. It's called Unboxed. Go over there and check out Amazon Books. As I said before, grab you a copy if you want to support the channel and some common sense content. I appreciate all y'all for locking in with us today. And hey, y'all enjoy y'all night. I'm going to leave y'all with some more smooth sounds. And I'm going to enjoy my evening. Hey, I appreciate y'all.